It's a blessing to welcome on the first member of Tulsa's 2022 recruiting class, Adante Holiman. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
For sure. Well, you just announced it, man. You're going to Tulsa, staying home. Take us how you're feeling.
It's good. It's a good feeling. Tulsa is, a really good school. And, they're an in-state school and it's close to home. So, it's going to be a great opportunity for me.
Take us the decision. Obviously, it's been a long one. You're ending up your junior year right now. So you're coming a little bit early, but kind of take us through this. Like, why do you feel that right now is the right time?
I just feel like I know where I wanted to go. And, I didn't want to wait on the, big name schools to, come recruit me. I wanted to go with who was with me right now. And, I just wanted to, get it over with because, with COVID and, the transfer portal is crazy right now. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know what's going to happen in the next few years. So I just wanted to get out the way and make sure I know that I can go where I wanted and, could be able to play.
This is the crazy thing about you. We know that ESPN has you as a 4-star, but a lot of ranking sites don't even have you. You're not being ranked, but then we see your top 7. You got schools that are some of the best out there: Arizona, St. Louis, also obviously Tulsa, where you're going, DePaul, ASU, some of the biggest schools clearly want you. People clearly see how special you can be. But take us through that, though. You're obviously not being a high ranked player. What kind of chip is that put on your shoulder? Just take us through that.
It's weird because, ESPN, has me ranked, but then every other site, I think I might be on Rivals or 24/7. I may be I have a profile on one of them, but I don't have anything on there, which is weird. But it doesn't bother me that much because, the main goal here is to, go to college and play basketball. So I don't really care about rankings like that. But, it is weird because I am ranked on ESPN, but on other sites, I'm not even anywhere to be found. And what's crazy is that I have more offers than some of the kids even on there that have it, but I don't get into it that much, but it's just crazy.
Couldn't agree more. Well, let's get into this top 7 because you have a loaded 7 here, really great schools. What went into those final 7?
The ones that are recruiting me the hardest, to be honest. The ones that I thought were a great fit, and all those schools on there would fit my game, in a certain way. And I just those were the top 7 schools that I felt like they were recruiting me the hardest, and also being the top 7 fits in my game.
Now, we do know the offer just came in recently now. Ole Miss came in, offered you. Kind of take us through them and where that really came from.
I went to camp this weekend. It was ran by his name is Chris Jackson, his American name, but, he's an LSU guy. He's really one of the best point guards that ever played the game. And I went to that camp and, there's some people, it was half Mississippi kids, some Texas kids, and 3 Oklahoma kids. And, I went to camp and I did my thing. And it was mutual friends that were close to Coach Davis. Mm-hmm. And after that, he just, he called me today and was like, we're going to offer you scholarship. It's a big one because, it's in the SEC, but still, I'm still focused on Tulsa because that's the school I'm going to. But I don't really get shocked by big name schools. I just thought it was a great offer. So, I posted it. Tulsa still knows that I'm all in on them, but, it was just, a today thing. I haven't committed yet, so I just posted it to the meetings, whatever.
And that is something that's awesome because obviously we know you're a top player and you're locked into Tulsa. And as you just said, you're looking for the best fit. And that's something that so many guys don't do because I think so many guys can realize now you can go literally any college in the country you can want to go to. If it's the right fit, you can make it to the next level, live out your ultimate dream. But who kind of told you, talked to you about that? How did you kind of get that mentality knowing that you don't have to go to some of the bigger schools you have offers from? You can go to Tulsa and thrive out there and still possibly make out your dream.
My dad really, pushed it into me. He was like, just don't get caught into the big name stuff because there's guys like Damian Lillard and Steph that went to smaller schools and still made it to the league. Because the main goal is not to go to the big college. Because, there's some people that go to the big college and don't even get no burn or end up transferring. And I didn't want to be one of those guys. I wanted to go to a school where I wanted and I know my game would fit and I'm not making a mistake by going there and being able to not play or something like that. So I just went to a school that was good for me and a great fit for me, knowing that I could get to the next level I want to get to.
Here's the decision. You break it down now from your top 7. I can imagine there probably was a couple of schools kind of left over in the very end for you. Who was kind of the final mix? Was there a number 2 or 3 option within your family that you kind of looked at?
Yeah, it was Tulsa, Akron, and then Arizona State was the main ones in the mix. Because, Arizona was probably top 4, but I didn't know if Sean Miller was going to have his job or not. So at that point, I was just I was curious, so I didn't really know. But yeah, the top 3 was Tulsa, Akron, and then Arizona State. But then Burno left too. So after Burno left, they kind of, just got out. They didn't get out the picture, but yeah, they weren't. That's the guy that was recruiting me the hardest. So
And as you mentioned, obviously something like Sean Miller is a situation where you don't know as a recruit. Obviously, the head coach is probably the biggest thing when you're looking at a school and where you want to go. How has that affected you as a recruit, though, when you don't know about the security of a coach? Like, how do you handle that as a recruit?
It's a main thing because you want to know if the coach is going to be there when you're there, because obviously you can go there and maybe they won't take you if a different coach switches. So the main thing is really knowing like when their contract ends, because that's one of like the first questions I ask when somebody recruits me: how long is your contract, and are they going to renew it? And I just make sure I know that before I actually even put forth to school, so I know that they're going to be there when I'm there, so it won't be any mess up or I get there and don't get to play because the coach switches or some mistake like that. So I just have to make sure.
Absolutely. Well, let's get into Tulsa, because this obviously we're going to be going. The biggest attraction that people really start noticing is that you're staying home and you're kicking off this 2020 recruiting class. How cool would that be, just be able to go out there and represent your hometown, stay close to the family? Like, what's that going to be like?
Well, it's going to be great, especially for my family. They're going to be able to come and watch games, and I'm going to be close to home. I can come back and visit. It's going to be big for our state because, it might attract others to come, others to stay home. I've talked to multiple people, in our state that have been like, yeah, I like Tulsa too. So maybe it starts a trend, and hopefully I can get some guys to come with me.
Who are some of those guys?
Parker Frederickson got an offer from Tulsa. I talked to him. Jeremiah Johnson, I talked to him. And Brandon Garrison, I also talked to him about Tulsa. But, it's just three of the main guys in Oklahoma that I've talked to. 2023s. But, they still have a long ways to go. But, I've talked to them and really consider it because, it's a hometown school that's offering. And the Coach Haith is one of the best coaches around. And he's something you can't really turn down.
That's what I want to go into next. And let's talk about the coaching staff, because we just talked about that is the biggest thing when you're also been looking at these colleges. To discuss Coach Haith, what's like on the personal level? Like, not even talking about basketball, we just talk about life. What's like on that personal level?
It's good. He's a great coach, but he's also mainly just a great guy. Because when he recruited me and we had the Zoom calls before I told him I was committing, he not only talked to me about, basketball, he was talking to me how he's going to make me a better man in life. He's going to teach me life skills and, really. And Tulsa is also an academic school. And he was talking about how my education is going to be great because, instead of, he was big on instead of like flying out to places, he's going to like take a bus so he can get back to school quicker. So, they're big on education, and that's one thing that took my mom too. And then Coach Haith is just a great guy all around, and he's somebody that I want to play for.
When you're talking to him, what does he kind of envision for you? Obviously, every coach obviously hopes that each guy's going to be playing out exactly what they want, but what is that plan for you? Like, what does he want you as a freshman? Does he plan for you to come in and start for them? Does he want to work you in? Like, what's his expectations for you as a freshman when you get out there?
He told me that I would have an opportunity to come in and start as a freshman if I, earn my spot, which, everywhere you're going to have to earn your spot. I mean, it's not going to be like you're going to come in and just get a suit handed to you. But, I feel like I can go in there and earn my starting spot. Like he promised me I would. I mean, he didn't promise me that I'm going to come in and just get minutes, but he said I can earn it. And that's something I like because I don't want anything handed to me.
When you gave him the announcement, you told him, I'm coming to Tulsa, I'm going to stay home. What was his reaction? Kind of take us through how you told him.
We were on a Zoom call about like 2 weeks ago, and when I told him, he was like, "Man, he's lucky I'm older. I'll jump and do a cartwheel right now." But he was really excited, man. The whole staff was excited, and it was a great feeling.
At what point would you say you locked in? You said, "Okay, this is where I'm going to be going. Tulsa is where I want." Would you have a talk with them really recent to that time? Did you talk with your family to just kind of wake up and you knew it? Like, when did you know Tulsa is where you want to go?
I was numbing it down to my top 7, and they was always up there. But we had a Zoom call. We had one Zoom call one day, and then it was like 2 weeks ago on Sunday, and me and my dad had a Zoom call with them. We all sat down and talked to him. They showed me the facilities, and then me and Coach Haith just sat down and talked for like 30 to 40 minutes just about, how I could fit in their program and how he plans on me being a big part of their program. And after that Zoom call, I told my dad, yeah, this is where I want to be. And then really sealed the deal is that my mom wasn't present during the Zoom call because she was at work. So he texted me at like 8 a.m. and was like, "We're gonna do another Zoom call with your mother, and we're gonna talk about the academics part." And just when he said that, because just wanted to meet my mom and everything, they really sealed the deal.
And you are going to be a unique point guard. We know that today the new era is so heavy forward in terms of these big guards. We know the guys that want to be 6'9", those kind of guys. You're a unique guard, though. We see a lot of guys still be successful, but you are 5'10", 5'11", in that range. Take us through that kind of brand of basketball and how you kind of plan to be a small guard when you get to college.
I think the small guards are winning now. Everybody wants to, the big guys, but I think most people now are really looking at the small guards. It's hard for us, obviously. But, I mean, once you, get used to it and actually put in the work, you don't got to worry about it anymore. But I think, honestly, small guards are winning right now, and we're going to keep winning because, we got big hearts. I mean, we go hard, and we know we got to work more than everybody else do.
You have grown a little bit in the past year or so, but yeah, I think you were a 5'8", 5'9", about heading into your sophomore year. Take us through how this little bit of growth has helped you now on the court, though.
Growth has helped me a little bit, but really just getting stronger has really mainly helped me. I don't care if I grow or not anymore at all, but, really just getting stronger is going to help me.
We'll talk about AAU a little bit more in a second, but this past summer you also were with AAU, you were on Next Page Force for a little bit. They also had a guard that was running with them for some time, Daeshun Ruffin, that pretty much the same shoes as you, a small guard that's become dominant scorer, pretty much dominant everything going to Ole Miss. But kind of take us through that. You're going to be in the same program as him. What was that kind of watching him, and was there anything you kind of learned from him?
Yeah, he really because I think he was sick playing. He had stomach issues. So really when I was playing, he was just trying to, take me under his wing and lead me how to play. Because there was some things, because I don't think I knew all the plays. So there weren't really that many plays. So it was we were running stuff. And, he was just trying to, tell me that I needed to, come on and take over. So, I mean, he's a great leader. And, learning from him and learning little things from him is also something you can take from his game.
You will be in a conference that is really underrated but has a lot of talent we see. The AAC is pretty low with a lot of top teams right now. It's constantly getting more and more talent out there. Take us how excited to be a part of that conference.
It's a great conference. It's one of the best conferences in the country. And they play on team. Most of the teams in that conference, most of the big ones. I mean, obviously, Houston was ranked 8 for a little while. And Tulsa beat them this year. I mean, it's a great conference. And they play on TV every night. It's something that I want to be a part of.
Is there one team specific you look at that you're the most excited to go up against?
Yeah, I hope we get to play the other in-state schools like OU State. That's a main goal. Hurry, I want to play. I told Coach Haith we got to get them on the schedule.
Overall, though, I do know you're obviously from Oklahoma, and there are some guys that are starting to come out of there that's really becoming elite guys. Most recently, we obviously know someone like Trey Alexander. Talk about your guys' bond. I know you guys have worked out quite a bit. You guys have become pretty cool. Discuss him a little bit.
Me and Trey, we're cool. We've been friends since my eighth grade year or my freshman year. We met through our dads, and our dads were cool, and we just took off from there. We talk on maybe 2 to 3 week basis. We talk all the time. I mean, he's a great hooper. I mean, and he's also a great friend. He's cool too. So
now it's going to eventually become your time. Now we know Trey is going out to Auburn next year. We know Bijan's going to be moving out to Oklahoma. It's really going to be your state now. You already are the number one prospect for 2022. How do you kind of plan to be able to fill those shoes and become that guy in the state now?
Because there's a lot of guys in my class that they think they're good, and I mean, I just feel like there's a lot of guys here, but I feel like I can take under being that guy in Oklahoma. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be hard. I mean, I know how good I am, so it's not gonna be really not a big deal because my goal isn't really to be the best in Oklahoma, but it's to be one of the top in the country.
Without doubt. Well, let's go into this past season. You guys obviously had a huge year for yourself. You put together an incredible number of scoring, 48-point games, 49-point games, scoring pretty much at will. But take us through your thoughts. What's your thoughts on the season?
It was a rough season, honestly. Having to go through with COVID, and everything. We had about 6 or 7 games canceled. I mean, it was a rough season, but we got through it. I'm just glad we got to play.
Now, when you go out on a game and you go out there and drop 49 points or 48 points in a game, is there something different about those days, or you just kind of walk out there, you feeling it? What goes through your mind when you go out there and drop those kind of numbers?
I just feel like when my shots falling, because my shots falling most nights, but when it's falling like I need it to be falling, then I feel like I can go out there and score however many points I want to. So most of the time when my shots falling like I like it, then I feel like I can get those buckets.
Heading to next year now, you're a senior. It's your time to take over, like we talked about. But what do you kind of think is your game plan? What do you think you can put together average-wise for next year?
I feel like I can, average, probably 30 again, and 9 and 7, try to lead my team to the state championship.
Without a doubt. Well, we know the next up thing is you didn't really get a full AU season. You guys still got quite a few games, but this year hopefully it's back to normal. We have the circus, all that going back up again. What are you kind of looking at? I know you've run with Team Griffin before, Next Page Force, Trey Young's team. Like, what's kind of the plan for this for right now?
I will be playing with Next Page Force on the AAU circuit, and we'll start like late April maybe or mid-April because, Arkansas basketball is still going on. But, yeah, I'll be playing with Next Page Force.
And this will be your year to go on a national stage, be able to compete against some of the top guys. What do you want to go out there and prove? What do you want your mark to be this year in this AAU year?
Just let everybody know I'm here, and I'm really like that.
I know your family also kind of been born into a basketball family. Your brother plays basketball. Your dad played collegiately. What has it been like growing up in a basketball family?
It's great because I was born with a basketball in my hands. Mm-hmm. So, it was really good. And, I just feel like basketball, I was born to play basketball. So it's just fun, especially my dad actually knowing the game. So, it's great.
And you mentioned about how it kind of helped you throughout the recruiting process, and that obviously would be a huge thing. But how beneficial was it to have someone that's gone through that process, that knows this game, kind of in your corner helping you through all this?
It's great because I don't even think I would have made the right decision if he wasn't in my corner. Because there was a lot of things coming at me, but I don't know if I would have made the right decision without my dad in my corner. So I appreciate him for helping me and guiding me through the process. He let me know that it was going to be my decision, but he was going to try to guide me in the right direction. And I just made sure that he thought it was a good fit too, and he did. He thought it was the right choice. So that's what we went with.
I can imagine you guys have gotten to some games before between your brother, your cousins. Like, what happens in those games when you guys go play 2-on-2, king of the court? How those games go?
They know how them games go because they gonna watch this interview tomorrow. And I know how them games go. I don't lose very much.
Out of 10 games, how many are you winning?
All 10. I don't lose.
So there was a special time your freshman year. You come away with the state championship. What was that experience like?
It was great because I won a state championship with my brother, my pops. And, it was great and something I'm never going to forget. I still got the ring somewhere in here. I think it's in one of my drawers. But, it's something I never forget because, it was with my brother and my pops. And winning a state championship is a big thing. I want to get one next year for my last year and my last year with my brother.
Absolutely, man. Well, a few more things before I let you go. One of which is we did talk about obviously your height, but there is another benefit to you right now, and that is that you're one of the more athletic guys, not just in your class, but the entire country. 40-plus inch vertical. Take us through how you've learned to be able to use that and incorporate your athleticism into your game.
It's been great, learning how to use it. I really just came out of nowhere. My pops, he could jump. So, I'm just now learning how to use it.
When you look at all the times, I know you've had multiple posterizers before. What's been your favorite dunking game?
Probably the most recent one I got when I dunked on that kid from Durant. That's probably the most recent one. My other ones I ain't got on video. But he's a victim also.
No, I'm not. Absolutely. Well, a couple of things about college I want to touch up on. For starters, obviously, Tulsa fans are really excited to get you out there. But what can they expect from you? What will you bring to the program?
A great basketball player, but not only a great basketball player, a great person too.
Now, something I was wrapping up with is discussing a legacy, because I think all guys ultimately want to create that legacy for themselves. So when you are done playing basketball someday, what do you ultimately want to be remembered for what you achieved both on and off the court?
I want to be, known as, one of the greats, but not also that, making, I want to be known as a great person too. One that was, great with his family, great with his teammates and stuff like that. And
also being a believer. Discuss how God's helped get you to the point you're at today.
Without him, I wouldn't have anything at all. I wouldn't have, I wouldn't be here today. And him giving me the ability to actually play basketball, I wouldn't even know how to play basketball. So I thank him.
Absolutely, man. What would you say is the biggest time you've seen God show up in your life so far?
When I was sitting there struggling to get, my first offer, it was crazy. I was thinking I wasn't good. I wasn't good enough at all. He kind of blessed me with that.
Absolutely, man. Well, one final thing for you, give Tulsa fans your 3 biggest goals you have set for your Tulsa career.
To win the conference championship, win a national championship, and, just be a great teammate.
Without doubt, man. Congratulations once again. I appreciate you taking time to come on today, and can't wait to see what God got next for you, man.
Appreciate you, bro.
Of course, always welcome on, man. God bless.